It is a beautiful day in Big D for the Colts and the Cowboys. Indianapolis undefeated and in control of the AFC picture at the present time for that coveted #1 seed. Meanwhile, the Cowboys in a dogfight in the NFC East with the Giants. The Eagles currently losing to Tennessee. And hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. And you've got this undefeated theme again for the Colts. You got the Cowboys up and down. What do you expect today?
Well, I look at this game, and we know the Colts are good. How can Dallas beat them? Well, they're 5-4. A lot of people believe they're better than that 5-4 record. They got a lot of emotion on their side. Tony Romo making his first start here. Everybody's excited about that. So emotion-wise, big advantage for the Dallas Cowboys. All
right, Phil, the Cowboys will be receiving the kick here, and this game is brought to you in high definition television. It's been a long time since the Colts played here in Dallas, and it'll be for Peyton Manning his Dallas debut. He's played the Cowboys twice in Indianapolis, but never performing in the past at Texas Stadium. There's Adam Vinatieri, who will be handling the kick. And the Cowboys with Elam and Austin, the returners. Cowboys at 5-4. They have alternated wins and losses the last 7 games. In the words of Bill Parcells, trying to get over the hump, trying to get a breakthrough victory today against undefeated Indianapolis. And it's Miles Austin running it out. And the undrafted rookie out of Monmouth University in West Long Branch, New Jersey, runs it out 31 yards. Here's Tony Romo, his 4th career start, but his first start at home. And for the Cowboys on that line, Flozell Adams with the big assignment, going up against Dwight Freeney. And Julius Jones, currently 9th in the NFL in rushing, on track for a 1,300-yard season. Romo and the Cowboys have not committed a turnover in their last 11 quarters. And again, they've been on the road the last 3 weeks. It's Romo with a little toss to Jones, and that picks up about 4. That Indianapolis defense last week yielded only 162 yards, their best of the season. That was best in the league last week. Mathis is the smallest starting defensive end in the league, but he leads the Colts in sacks. Morris starting for Brackett, who is out today with an injury, a hamstring. And in the secondary, Nick Harper by way of Fort Valley State. Cowboy fans know what that means. That's where Rayfield Wright, recent Hall of Fame inductee, went to school in Georgia. So from the 39, 2nd down and 6. And another play for Jones, and he breaks tackles to midfield, and a first down. A run of 12. And Phil, what about your spotlight with the Cowboys?
Well, let's talk about that Dallas offense. And this year, Jim, the voting decision, 2006. Tony Romo, what's that's about? Just get rid of the football quick. Make a decision and let it go. Target practice. That's what the Colts are saying. They're excited about playing a quarterback like Tony Romo, who tries to buy time in the pocket. Because what's the strength of this Indianapolis defense? They got defensive ends that can rush you, and they can get off blockers when the quarterback moves to get sacks, hit him, make him fumble, and turn it over.
Big issue all season long, this rush defense, this porous rush defense of the Colts. You saw it, giving up over 5 yards per attempt, but not this time. Only 1 yard surrendered to Jones as he runs into Freeney and Morris.
You know, we were talking to Tony Dungy, and he was talking about Bill Parcells. He says, we expect him to try to run a game just like he did in Super Bowl 25 against the high-scoring offense of the Buffalo Bills. Control it, milk the clock, run the football, and just give his offense as few possessions they could possibly give him in a game.
You saw Tony Dungy already assured of his 8th consecutive winning season. That's the longest streak in the league. 2nd down and 9 for the Cowboys, just edging across midfield into Indy territory, and again stacked up after only a yard. Julius Jones running into Anthony McFarland. And there is your old boss and coach, Bill Parcells, in his 4th year here in Dallas.
Well, We had an interesting talk to him this week, and of course we asked a lot of questions about Tony Romo, and he goes, "You mean my little renegade?" And I go explain that to his coach. He goes, he thinks that every time the ball is snapped, there's a big play to be made, and he's got to learn to live and fight another day. So that's what worries Bill Parcells when he looks at his young quarterback in Tony Romo.
I'll bet he had some names for you too back in your early years. 3rd down and 8. And Romo with pressure. Freeney strips it away, and it's scooped up by Indy for the recovery. Cato June. Freeney coming in on the quarterback.
You saw it. We just said it, Jim. When you try to move around the pocket against this defense, they are so fast up front. They get off the blocks. Dwight Freeney coming from the outside just dips right under Flozell Adams, and Tony Romo has not had to make a decision that quick so far this year.
I just said they had gone 11 quarters, the Cowboys, without a giveaway, but on their first possession, they cough it up, and that sets up Peyton Manning at his own 49.
Flozell Adams, I do not know if he even touched Dwight Freeney on that pass rush.
Manning stretching it out with Dominique Rhodes, and he is shut down on that right side and working hard, try to salvage something, but it loses 5. And that was the first snap in Manning's career here in Dallas. The only places he hasn't played now, Oakland, Carolina, and Arizona. Jeff Saturday is his center, and a distinguished one. 103 consecutive starts between the center and quarterback. Dominique Rhodes, a former Cowboy intern. 2nd down and 15. And a completion to Harrison, and the ball comes out at the end, and the Cowboys get it right back. Jay Ratliff on the recovery.
Indianapolis runs their favorite play, the one you see more than anything else in this offense. Marvin Harrison goes up the field, comes underneath. The Dallas Cowboys, when you watch film, you know they're going to throw it 5 times a game. You got to attack Marvin Harrison. That's what they do, and they hit him before he can get to the ground. Causes the fumble.
It was Brady James who reached in to strip it. Here it is, putting the paw on it, and Ratliff with the recovery. For Marvin Harrison, his first fumble in his last 226 receptions.
It's hard to get a good hit on Marvin Harrison.
So with 3 receivers, they come right back to Jones. He's twisted down for a 1-yard loss. McFarland with another hit. The former Buck.
Well, what we asked Tony Dungy last night, are you concerned about your run defense? It's just been so porous. Everybody talks about it all the time, and he just goes, we're getting better. It's getting better up front. And he doesn't want to stifle what his defensive linemen are, and they all can get after the passer. So there's a little give and take there, and he seems satisfied with it.
2nd and 11, the starting receivers, Owens and Glenn, are out. Hurd and Creighton replace, and Romo throws the slant. That was in the area of Sam Hurd, who started last week at Arizona. Glenn was out for that game, and Hurd came in with 4 catches, 42 yards against the Cardinals in that road win.
Yeah, you know, when you watch this Indianapolis defense, Jim, some of the numbers are awful. They're last in run defense. But the one thing that I've noticed, we talked to Nick Harper last night, they are covering wide receivers better than I've seen them in the Tony Dungy era. They put Nick Harper, Jason David one-on-one a lot, and they have shut down some good receivers. 3rd
down back, Marion Barber flanking the quarterback out of the gun. 3rd and 11. That's to Creighton, and for very little gain at all. Only 2 yards, wrapped up quickly by Nick Harper. So the Cowboys on their last 6 plays netting -2 yards.
They look pretty fast on defense, don't they? When
They
you sit
really
up
do.
here, and they are starting to get a little more organized. And again, the thing that's been the difference in my eyes is their defensive backs can now cover, and they can gamble a little more when they need to.
And they're without Bob Sanders. He was out with a knee injury, probably back next week. McBriar with a big leg. Wilkins the returner, and fair catch signal at the 10. So McBriar gets the job done, 37 yards. Manning comes right back out for the second time. Each team turning it over once early. Take CBS Sportsline with you wherever you go on your internet-enabled phone. Access breaking news. Even manage your fantasy team by clicking on mobile. CBSSportsline.com. Rhodes remains the running back. We have not seen Joseph Adai now in the second series of the game for Indy. Manning from the end zone, pulled down by Rhodes, and he's near a first. Expecting a spot him just short of it. Marcus Ware was applying the pressure. Here's the Cowboys defense, ranked 3rd overall in total defense. Ferguson, originally drafted by Parcells at the Jets. Singleton starting today as Greg Ellis lost for the season. And Roy Williams' first career pick came on a toss by Peyton Manning. His first pick was one of Manning. How about that? And the Cowboys going for the first, or the Colts. Looks like they have it. How about Indy with their approach?
Well, you look at this Indianapolis offense. It's a chess game. Peyton Manning, and they talk about they want to go to 3 wide receivers to get better matchups. And for Dallas, deep impact. What's that mean? 2 things have hurt the Dallas Cowboys defense this year big time. Big passing plays and penalties, and they want to avoid the big passes by this Indy offense.
Rhodes got the yard they needed for the first.
Peyton Manning sees DeMarcus Ware. He's like a defensive lineman playing linebacker. If he's coming, he wants to change protection.
He's coming. He's coming right in on Manning and wallops Manning. Ball out, and Glenn recovers. Well, you said Peyton saw it all along, but there was no adjustment. No one put a hand on DeMarcus Ware.
No, and I know that's what he was doing. He sees the big guy coming. He doesn't want a running back or somebody small or a tight end blocking DeMarcus Ware. He is the one person, when you look at the 3 defensive linemen, and he's a linebacker, you got to account for him every play.
Boy, it's rare that you see anyone get that clean a hit on Peyton Manning. You think of the Washington game this year, especially in that first half. They got a few shots on Manning. He's only missed 1 play in his career due to injury. Now the throw to Utek, and Williams with the wallop, and the ball squirts out, but they rule him down at the 24. And Utek is hurt.
He is. When you put deep Roy Williams and let him react to the football when it's thrown. If receivers do not see him coming, he is going to get some terrific shots, and that's what that was. He is one of the bigger safeties in the NFL.
So while they attend to Ben Utek, we'll take a timeout here at Texas Stadium.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Hummer, like nothing else. And by Budweiser Select, brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything.
Utek was able to walk off the field without any assistance. Colts come out of the break at 3rd and 5. Manning steps up. He's going to run for it. He slides for the first. That's something you also rarely see.
It is, Jim, because he's so quick with the football, he doesn't have to run. But Peyton Manning scanning the field, sees the crosser, he knows it's man coverage, and when you're a quarterback and the defense is playing man-to-man and are running with the receivers, if you get past the defensive lineman, easy to pick up first downs.
Ben Utek is right back into the lineup, missed 1 play. Manning matching his longest rush of the season to pick up the first. It's Rhodes on that right side. It's just not there for him. That's the second time they've shut it down for negative yardage. Loss of 2. Newman and Spears locking it down.
Well, listening to how the Dallas Cowboys want to play Peyton Manning in this offense, I think they want to stay conservative as long as they can. In other words, they're going to stay back and make them march the football until the Colts show them that their defense will not work.
2nd down and 12. On the slant, Wayne has it with Henry defending. Keith Davis coming in on the hit. That goes for 13 and a first.
Say it, Jim, and here comes Peyton Manning. 2 blitzers, they're free, and there's a quick route to Reggie Wayne on the backside. I don't know if he changed what he was doing. I think he did. Peyton Manning saw it. He saw it. Nice completion for the first down.
That was Kevin Burnett, number 57, who was coming in from a position not unlike what we saw DeMarcus Ware when he got the big hit on Manning earlier in this drive. First and 10, and UTEC with a flag. UTEC a week ago with 7 catches. Here's Bill Vinovich.
Illegal contact. Defense number 41. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's called on Terrence Newman for the first down for Indy.
Everybody plays the Colts. There's always a couple thoughts, and they steal it from the New England Patriots. Let's be physical with the receivers. That means get up to the line of scrimmage, hit them as much as you can, and when you do that, every once in a while you're going to hit them too long and get that penalty.
They've had the football now for almost 5 minutes on this drive. And the running game right now under control by that Dallas defense. That's only a 2-yard pickup. Canty and Ferguson on that line with the initial contact.
You know, Jim, as you watch the Colts play, they control the football for long periods of time. When they do get on the field, they're hard to get out on 3rd down situations. But Tony Dungy, he told us, hey, look, if they got to play it slow and play a close game and it comes down to the end, they're fine with that.
2nd down and 8. Now in Dallas territory. And again, Manning's hit and the ball's out. Dallas recovers. No one ever touched James. Looked like the ball was knocked out by Ratliff, who had the earlier recovery. They're going to call that an incompletion? No. Calling it a fumble and a Dallas takeaway.
Ratliff, number 90, on the inside, taking advantage of the center, Jeff Saturday. Tough for a center just to block somebody right in front of him, one-on-one. Gets around and knocks it out of Peyton Manning's arm before it's coming forward. He's drawing it back, and as it's going back is when the football comes out.
So now Dallas gets it right back at the 43. And it looks like the challenge flag is out. Tony Dungy wants them to take the look and consider it.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling on the field with fumble. Timeout.
They want a possible consideration here of that being a pass attempt. We'd like to welcome everyone here to Texas Stadium in Dallas. Early action. We've already had 3 turnovers. 1 by the Cowboys, 2 by the Colts, although this one is being reviewed. We'll be right back. No score first quarter. Bill Vinovich has reviewed. Here's the verdict.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Indianapolis is charged. Their first. Timeout.
So Jay Ratliff has forced a fumble. Recovered the first one as well. And another giveaway here in this opening quarter.
Jim, watch the helmet as it hits Peyton Manning's elbow. That's what knocks it out. Peyton Manning's arm goes forward. It's called the old empty hand. When the hand is empty, when it goes forward, of course, it's a fumble.
Tony Romo and the Cowboys take over at the 43. Julius Jones grabbed by the ankles by Morris. A gain of 3. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here for the Colts and Cowboys. Some of you just joining us, and this is what happened early. Cowboys got the opening kick but fumbled. Right back, Harrison coughed it up on a reception. And then Ratliff, who had that other recovery, forced this one with Brady James falling on it. Tony Romo has been working Julius Jones quite frequently when they've had it today. And here he hits Witten. Witten for a first down. Now again, this is Romo's 4th game as a starter. He has quite a chemistry going with Jason Witten over these last several weeks.
Yeah, that he does. Jason Witten said if you go back and look, since Tony Romo has been the starting quarterback, my receptions have gone up dramatically, but more. I said, well, why is that? And he goes, when he moves around, that seems to where I get a lot of my extra catches. That time, though, Tony Romo, in rhythm, sees the receiver and lets it go. When you play against Indianapolis, sometimes it's one person, throw it away.
Jones bouncing outside with a flag after he ran for about 8, maybe 9.
Holding. Defense number 79. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Called on Raheem Brock, who was going up against the fullback Oliver Hoyt. And the Colts initially thought that was going to be against Dallas. Dallas coming into the week as the, well, sharing the honors, if that's what you call it, the dubious distinction of being the most penalized team in the league.
And that is by far the biggest reason why they're 5-4 instead of 7-2, 6-3. All their numbers on the offensive side, defensive side, you'd go, they're good.
So this one, though, against Indy, and it's a first down at the 31.
No, but I'm just saying, Jim, the penalties have hurt both sides of the ball for the Dallas Cowboys.
Romo going long, and he's picked up by Harper. Diving interception, they rule him down. That was intended for Terry Glenn.
Cannot make your mind up that you're going to throw a football. Indianapolis being aggressive, they double move the corner, and Terry Glenn is never open against Nick Harper.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Cadillac. Check out the Cadillac navigation event going on now. Cadillac, life, liberty, and the pursuit.
Nick Harper has intercepted Tony Romo, and some of you joined us minutes ago on the heels of that Eagles loss to Tennessee, 31-13, with Donovan McNabb injured in that game. Joseph Adai, the rookie running back, with his first action, and it goes for only a yard. That interception by Harper ends the longest interception or streak without an interception by a Dallas quarterback since Troy Aikman back in 1999. He had Romo his first in 99 passes. Second down and 9. 4 turnovers in this first quarter, 2 by each side. The fake, the pass to Wayne, and makes the grab, but he's out. Incomplete. You know, looking at Harper with that interception. Last night we asked him about that fumble recovery and near run back in the playoff loss to Pittsburgh. Have you thought about it many times? Have you looked at it many times?
Well, he says every day. He said it took me 3 months to get over it once the season is over. When you asked him, how many times have you seen it? And his answer was at least 1,000.
At least 1,000 times. Said he could not sleep for a month. He knew he was so close to breaking it for what would have been a win to move to the AFC Championship game. 3rd down and 9. And Harrison knew that he needed to stretch it out, but he's still shy of the first. Sure-handed tackle by the veteran Aaron Glenn.
Well, it's a blitz by the Cowboys. It's a nice job by Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning seeing the blitz And when we talked to Peyton Manning last night, I said, what's your one fear when you play this game today? My fear is that we can't protect if they can get pressure on me with 3 or 4 pass rushers. Well, so far, they've done it.
Terrence Newman set to return this one near midfield. It's Hunter Smith with the boot. On the run, what a collision. A ball popped out of bounds as Kelvin Hayden put a vicious hit on Terrence Newman. But he's up, and the Cowboys are in plus territory at the Indianapolis 47. O'Brien. And Tom Landry, remembered here. Man who has called more Super Bowls than anyone in history. Our dear friend Pat Summerall, including Super Bowl I with Ray Scott, Frank Gifford, and Jack Whitaker, the broadcast team for CBS the first year out. Super Bowl I. There's Julius Jones, the Cowboys starting from the 49.
When you play a defense that's fast, that wants to react and just attacks you, that's what the Indianapolis Colts do. If you're the Cowboys, what you'd like to do to slow them down. Everybody tries it. You throw screens and you run draw plays to slow their defensive line down.
You surprised by all the mistakes we've had here in this first quarter as it draws to a close?
Well, yes, anytime you see this many mistakes, but as you watch the field, Jim, you can see there's added emotion, and both teams are fresh and fast.
They won't have to walk far to switch sides. It's the end of the first quarter with no score. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41. Second quarter about to get underway. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. Undefeated Indianapolis taking on the 5-4 Cowboys, who have it at the Colts 47, and Romo finds Jones for the second time, and he's fighting but going to come up about a yard shy of the first. 3rd and 1 on the way. Tony Romo taken over on October 23rd in the second half, the game against the Giants for Drew Bledsoe, and already with enough attempts to qualify in the passing stats, he's second in the league in quarterback rating behind Peyton Manning. Undrafted out of Eastern Illinois, where he was the 3-time Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year. 2-1 record as a starter, but his first time as a starter at home. We're not talking about a rookie here. We're talking about a guy that learned the system, paid his dues in his 4th year. 3rd and 1, and he finds the first down with Witten.
And as you watch that last play, Jim, you see an experienced quarterback faking the defense off, making them look one way, because when you play the Colts, when they play zone coverage, you want to look to your left. That's what he did, and then the receiver has a chance to open up to the right. But Tony Romo, you said it, Bill Parcells, he's not a rookie, so I don't treat him as a rookie. My expectations for him are very high. In other words, they've worked on him and groomed him and got him this way for 4 years, and they expect results. Big
on preparation, big on trial and error, and breaking down film of other quarterbacks, and just learning and adjusting. And try to run it into the line for no gain. Talked about how he's really changed a lot of his throwing motions and footwork. And there you see, he's also quite an accomplished golfer. He attempted to qualify for the Byron Nelson tournament here, shot 69 back in 2004, just missed out, and came close in some local qualifying, not sectional qualifying. That's the first stage of it for the U.S. Open, shooting 36-hole scores right around even par.
Well, all I can say is don't let him walk up to the first tee on you and say, hey, I'm a 5 handicap. He is a scratch golfer, and he's done it in big tournaments. That's impressive.
2nd down and 10. And Jones again can't find any open space. No gain. We've got an update, though. James Brown in New York.
Jim and Phil, as you guys recall, Donovan McNabb being injured earlier today on this play here as he gets run out of bounds to the right. Our own Charlie Casserly reporting Donovan McNabb, torn right ACL. He is out for the season. So Donovan McNabb, unfortunately, lost for the season to the Eagles. Back to Jim and Phil.
Wow, thank you, James, for that sad bit of news for Donovan McNabb. His season apparently over with the ACL injury today and the loss against Tennessee. Cowboys with 3rd and 10 at the 29. And it's back over to Witten. It's only a 4-yard gain. Kelvin Hayden bringing him down, the tight end, quickly. So out comes the former Colt kicker Mike Vanderjagt, signed in the offseason, signed in March. Colts all-time leader in field goals and points. Tony Romo is the holder. This will be a 43-yard drive for Vanderjagt.
There's got to be a few nerves involved in this. Reds team.
And off the upright and no good. And one of the Colts looked like Darrell Reed just catching up with an old teammate. Vanderjagt misfiring from 43. We're back with no score. The Cowboys 4 possessions, all 4 drives, advanced to Indianapolis territory. You saw Vanderjagt stewing over that miss from 43. But the Colts have it now from the 33. Little mix up with a die, the rookie running back, and Manning flings it way down the field for a hookup with Harrison and a flag. Went for 15 yards, but a penalty.
After the pass was thrown, personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 96, 15-yard penalty, automatic.
This will end up giving the Colts a net of 30 yards with the 15-yard completion and the penalty.
Peyton Manning steps up in the pocket. That's tough. That was a little bump. There's no question. It was after Peyton Manning had thrown the football. Plenty of time for the defender to see that he can't take the hit. But it was, I think it's a bad call. That's simple.
That was barely any kind of whiff of a contact.
If Peyton would at least fell down or something, you go, okay.
So first down from the Cowboy 36. And they'll run it with a dive into the secondary and drag down at the 19. I'm now looking out there. Remember Terrence Newman took that hit on the punt return. He's not out there right now. This is Aaron Glenn at the bottom of the screen, and he's being blocked by Marvin Harrison and sealed off on this run.
Well, Joseph Adai, what he gives this offense from the running back position, he gives them speed, the ability of a running back to take it and make big plays.
Saw Newman looking on from the sideline. Adai, a Texas kid by way of Houston. And he's got some friends up this way to come watch him play. A whole group of friends and family from the Sharpstown area down in Houston. Tell you, you want to really find out something about someone's character, you often just have to know about those who you call your closest friends. And for Joseph Adai, Lawan Moore, you saw him. His best buddy is here. And that was Adai again with a flag down. You saw Lawan Moore. They were teammates together at Sharpstown High School. And Lawan was injured, was paralyzed in a game their junior year. But these two are so close, like brothers. And when Adai was attending LSU, he'd have Lawan for a visit on numerous occasions, had his entire dormitory room converted so that it was accessible for Lawan. And he is absolutely tickled to have him here today to see him play for the first time as a professional.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Offsides, defense, 12 men, defense. 5 yards, Repeat second down.
We first met Adai 3 weeks ago in Denver, and he was already telling us that far out how much he looked forward to the game coming back to the state of Texas, but primarily because it meant that Lawan was going to be here to see him play.
That's right. We went to the hotel last night to visit the Colts, and Lawan Moore was just arriving with us, and we had a nice chat with him, and he's hoping to go back to the University of Houston to finish his education, so we hope that works out for him.
Adai said he would, of course, love to win here today, but he would love to score a touchdown for his buddy. Here he is, Adai up the middle, and he's fighting for it, chugging along to the 5. It'll be first and goal to go from there.
A lot of rookies, when it gets this late in the year, they start to slow down. But Joseph Adai, that is not the case, because they alternate him along with Dominic Rhodes, so he hasn't had to carry the whole load. And as you watch, when you follow the Colts, he is getting faster and better as the weeks go by.
So first and goal, Colts set up to score first. It's Adai. Driving and into the pile at the 1. It'll be second and goal from there.
Second and goal at the 1.
Backed up for a loss. Roy Williams coming up quickly.
I know Peyton Manning's probably going to himself. He's upset. Probably should have thrown it, because the Dallas Cowboys are very tough when it gets inside the 5-yard line. Bill Parcells will do everything, sell out to stop the run and make you try to score by throwing the football.
You may have seen the numbers, crazy numbers on third down. Best third down quarterback in the league by a mile. 14 touchdown passes and no picks. And he's got a third and goal right here. Manning fires, and he's intercepted. It's Roy Williams trying to hit Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark fell down as he was coming inside.
Our 5th turnover of the game. Dallas with the interception at the goal line. Been picked off on third down all year, but Roy Williams steps in. He made contact with Dallas Clark, but it appeared to be contact before the pass was released. Perfectly legal. Marion Barmer is in the backfield, and a procedure penalty called first. Phil.
Offense number 82. After this is the goal. Still first down.
Jim, we talked about it. You want to be physical against the wide receivers. Dallas Clark comes up to Roy Williams. He pushes him inside the 5-yard lines. He makes contact. He's going down before Peyton Manning lets the football go. And Peyton Manning knows there's a push-off, but it was legal. Or a chuck.
How about Roy Williams? Again, we said it earlier, his first career interception was of a Peyton Manning pass, and he also picked him up. He told us one time in a Pro Bowl game. He hasn't faced him many times, but he's got a collection of 3 now.
Offside. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Here's the one we were talking about. In regular season play, it's the last time these two tangled back in November of '02.
Yep, Roy Williams, rookie year. So not many people can say they've had success against Peyton Manning. Roy Williams, one of the few.
Roy Williams, as you said, a rookie in '02, but one of only 3 Cowboys dressed today who was a Cowboy before Parcells came on board in '03. Romo's going to take off and duck under at the 15. Lozelle Adams and Gerard, the other 2 that were Cowboys pre-Parcells that are on the field today. So it's been a whole turnover. It's interesting, as you see T.O. in the frame here, he has not been thrown to in this game.
Well, when you play the Colts, a lot of times, Jim, it's hard to throw the football outside because they put a corner and they put another defender against both wide receivers. So a lot of times when you play on offense like the Cowboys today, it's the tight end and the running backs who have to get it done in the passing game.
It's 2nd down and 2. They're going to get Barber a carry here. And he's able to fight. That's why he's a goal line short yardage guy for just that reason. But he's still half-yard shy of the first.
When you watch this game so far today, can you believe that the Indianapolis Colts are last against the run in the NFL?
You wouldn't know it so far, would you?
No, Dallas Cowboys, they're the 5th best. So the Colts kind of getting things in order on the defensive side, especially with their defensive line.
The defensive unit that's allowed 159 rushing yards a game, the most by a team with a winning record since Cleveland back in 1979. And that is a big penalty right there against the Cowboys. And Flozell Adams goes from 3rd and a foot.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And again, the most penalized team in the league. Well, coming in, it was not only Dallas, but Detroit and Washington. All was 68 apiece, tops.
Jim, it tells you about their talent as you look at the Cowboys. Look at the records of everybody else. Minnesota hanging in there with the 4-5. They lost today, but usually when you're one of the most penalized teams in the NFL, bad situations, they lead to worse things, turnovers usually.
And already with 5 flags against them so far in a quarter and a half. 3rd down, and they still get the first. It's Owens with the grab in traffic. Goes for 10 yards.
Nothing coming easy for the Dallas Cowboy offense. Terrell Owens on the outside. What he has going for him, that he is a big receiver. You heard it last night. There he is against Nick Harper. Nick Harper trying to take it out, and I tell you, it's almost a good job. But Nick Harper says T.O. loves to push off, and why not? When you're bigger than the guy that's covering you, pushing.
He just moved into 16th all-time in receiving yardage. 4th all-time in touchdown catches. And on 1st down, they're going right back to T.O. across the 40. And again, it was Harper defending. This one goes for 21.
Inside throwing routes. That's what the Colts will give you when it's man coverage on the outside, because they're going to stay to the outside of the receiver no matter where that receiver lines up. Tony Romo looked to his left. He turns and throws it right on rhythm to Terrell Owens to the right, and that's a nice throw and catch.
And that's the longest play for either team. Boys again started back inside the 10 off the interception. Barber pushing away from one of his own teammates and able to gain 6. I tell you, there has been, I mentioned earlier, the chemistry with Romo and Witten. Same too with Romo and Owens. 21 catches since Romo took over at quarterback. 15 of them going for first downs. And there have been other ones that, well, his numbers could have been significantly increased, but he had some drops in that stretch too, most notably the one against Washington, a deep ball. 2nd down and 4, and Barber with contact right away by Buffet. We got an update in New York.
Hey, Jim and Phil, the Green Bay Packers just gave us the latest information on their quarterback, Brett Favre, hit here by Teddy Bruschi. Right arm, numbness and weakness in that right arm. No MRI is planned. He could have gone back into the game, according to the Packers. They erred on the side of caution. He is expected to play next week. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, JB. Again, for some of you may have missed it a short while ago with word coming out that Donovan McNabb is lost for the season with a torn ACL. Timeout called by Indianapolis with 3:15 to go in the half. These are 2 of the 4 highest scoring teams in the league. We've got no score, though, second quarter. Coming up, we've got the Sprint halftime report. James Brown will take you through all the scores. Dan Shannon and Boomer with all the analysis on the Sprint halftime report. The Cowboys, you see, have had good success on third down, but the Colts are even a better story on third down this season. This is a 3rd and 5 for Dallas. Too steep for Patrick Creighton.
Romo's pass intended for number 84, Patrick Creighton, incomplete. 4th down.
Little tough to be on target as a quarterback. Watch Dwight Freeney. He's gone outside a couple times today. This time he goes in, and if Tony Romo doesn't catch it and throw it immediately, he is going to get sacked.
McBriar in. He already has this season 6 punts that have traveled at least 60 yards, most in the league. He's not looking for anything of that length right now. And that gets the job done. Down to the 10-yard line. Wilkins with the fair catch. No score. 3 minutes to go in the half. Indianapolis from the 12 with Rhodes the running back. Newman remains out of the Dallas secondary. The play action setting up the screen, and the pass is batted down. A very active half here by the Dallas defense, and that was DeMarcus Ware, I think, who had a hand on it.
One thing you could say about this Dallas front defensive line, they are big. So that's what they're using in their favor. They are pushing the Indianapolis offensive lineman back, getting in Peyton Manning's way, making it tough for him to see where to throw the football.
2nd down and 10. Rhodes trying the left side for the first time today, and it gets 9 yards.
Dominic Rhodes on the carry.
Dylan Gandy with one of the key blocks on that run. The first time Rhodes has seen any daylight.
You know, Jim, you talked about Terrence Newman not being in the game. Him not being in here, what it does, it helps out the Colts. So they don't have to change their strategy. They were worried about putting a tight end, Dallas Clark or Ben Utek, outside, and all of a sudden they got Terrence Newman lined up against them. That favors the Dallas Cowboys. So the Colts were going to use 3 wide receivers with him out. Now they don't have to worry about those matchups anymore.
It's 3rd and 1. Newman wanting to get back in there. He's got the helmet screwed on. It's a dive, and a rookie right to the first down yardage for the first. Cowboys reporting that he was, well, what we knew, shaken up, but they do say they expect him to return. He's still a little bleary-eyed after that hit. No score at the 2-minute warning. First down for the Colts. 2 minutes to go in the half. And Manning throws it at the feet of Terrence Newman. That's right. He returns just after we mentioned he had been absent since that punt return. Now I can understand the Jets and the Bears were scoreless at halftime today, but I didn't expect the Colts and the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, I didn't expect it to be low scoring either like this, Jim, but what it tells you, anytime you don't see scoring in the NFL, you know who's winning the battle? The big guys. That means the defensive linemen are dominating the offensive linemen. None of the small guys can get it done, and that includes Peyton Manning.
Art Glenn leaving early.
Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Cowboys 3rd in the league in scoring. There you see it, ahead of Indianapolis by a fraction. 3rd and 4th in the league, producing nothing to this point.
And what you're also seeing is offensive linemen that are jumpy because the pass rush has been there for both sides, Dallas and Indianapolis's defensive line.
5-yard mark off, 2nd and 15. Look in the middle and has the connection with Harrison. And look at Roy Williams knock him down.
You talk about mobile quarterbacks. We don't ever say enough about big quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, 6'6", stands in there, and because of his size, hangs in there and makes a tough throw over the middle.
That went for 19, right back to Harrison. And the hit by Aaron Glenn keeps him short of the first by about a yard.
What makes this Colts offense so good? Experience, talent. They've been doing the same system for so long, but more importantly, they never ease up.
Looking the other side, and that was in the area of Moorhead. Aaron Moorhead, the intended target. 3rd and 1 on the way.
You know, Jim, if you're a defensive player, you know, you play against a lot of offenses, you know, okay, certain situations are going to run it. It's going to be by the book. Well, the Colts, it's always, let's move forward. Let's keep going. They keep pushing the issue. That makes a defense uneasy.
Colts have 1 timeout. They need 1 yard to keep the drive going. The die shakes off Newman and picks up the first. Newman came crashing through and first made contact well in the backfield.
Terrence Newman, they call that the Cobra Blitz, trying to strike while the quarterback is not looking. Perfect timing, not able to make the tackle.
Manning is hit after the throw, and that was again back to Moorhead. Pressure from DeMarcus Ware.
DeMarcus Ware moving around against Dean. Ryan Dean, the right tackle. He usually is on the offensive left, but the Cowboys said they were going to move him on to each side to see who he can take advantage of.
You say it, Manning knocked down 4 times, sacked on 2 other occasions. Newman threatening to blitz, and now the Colt line moves. That's the 2nd time that Glenn's going to be penalized on this series. Maybe it's going against Dallas, Manning's indicating.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Called on Jason Hatcher. Boy, Peyton Manning was excited about making his first ever appearance at Texas Stadium. He said, I will think of all those Thanksgiving Day games as a young kid growing up, watching those with my family. I'll think of all the quarterbacks for the Cowboys, from Meredith to Roger to Troy Aikman. Just curious what it's like to throw here. Of course, you had a lot of experience in so many clashes on an annual basis here.
Yeah, if you can block the defensive line, it's a tremendous place to throw. No wind, and the crowd is close to you, so you can really see down the field.
2nd down and 5. And looking down for Dallas Clark down the field, and in and out of his hands.
Peyton Manning was telling a story about being in the Pro Bowl. His father, Archie, was there. The other quarterback was Roger Staubach, and Roger Staubach would see the Manning family coming, and he'd go, what was his comment?
Here come the Mannings. It's like the Griswolds going on vacation.
There you go.
Both times that Archie made the Pro Bowl, 2 times. The other NFC quarterback was Roger Staubach. And the Mannings took the family along to Los Angeles the last year they had the game there, and the first year they had it in Hawaii. 3rd down and 5. Let's see if it's a here come the Mannings now. Up over the top, and he has his man at the 24. It's Reggie Wayne.
Little different look from the Colts. Reggie Wayne in the slot.
And he stops the clock at 21. Again, coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer, all the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint halftime report. And he's still preserving that 1 timeout. Still holding on to it. 21 seconds. His drive started back at the 12. Up top to the end zone and over the head. Marvin Harrison with Glenn defending.
Even when you try to play safe, we saw it when we did the Indianapolis game against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos trying to keep everything in front of them, but the Colts, they'll throw short, and they're always looking for a way to go over the top. That time they had the right chance, but Aaron Glenn was all over Marvin Harrison.
3rd and 10 with 16 seconds left in the half. Pump fake, now going long, man open, and it's Wayne untouched for the touchdown. And that one little pump fake that may have froze the defender long enough.
Well, I don't know if he froze him. It could be just they picked it on the outside. That's what they do. Oh, no, they didn't pick it. They changed positions, and the Dallas Cowboys both chased the outside receiver, who was Aaron Moorhead, and they let Reggie Wayne go free.
14 plays they drive it.
It was the fake screen, Jim. You were right.
2 minutes and 53 seconds without using a timeout. They take it 88 yards down the field. Vinatieri adds one more. And with 10 seconds to go in the half, Manning to Wayne. And the Colts lead at 7-0. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. Here's how far the Colts stretched it. 14 plays, 88 yards. They were 4 for 4 on 3rd down situations.
Well, Jim, when they started keeping 3rd down conversions, right now the Indianapolis Colts, and I forgot the year they started. It was back in, I'm going to guess, 1981. And they are the best at this time, the best ever.
Looked like Terrence Newman got a little turned around on that play, too.
Yeah, it's curious to see who made the mistake, but I think it was Terrence Newman who let Reggie Wayne go.
A squib kick and fallen on quickly by the Cowboys at the 44-yard line.
Reggie Wayne here. Here's Terrence Newman, but here's the point. Everybody is on a guy man-to-man. So that's why I think it's Terrence Newman's responsibility to run with Reggie Wayne as he goes up the field. Did he see the pump fake by Peyton Manning going for the interception? If he was, that's a big mistake.
Patrick Watkins recovering that short kick, which could backfire on the Colts if Romo can get one quick completion. He's got the full treasure chest of timeouts. All he's going to need is one completion, one timeout, and they may give Vanderjagt a chance.
Well, not only that, Jim, if you get a short completion, you're able to throw one into the end zone before the half is up.
Freeney coming after him. Romo taking off, throwing on the run, and the catch made by Owens. Oh, that kick is going to backfire a bit because the Cowboys have a chance now to march out Vanderjagt.
Tony Romo made this play. What he was doing, Terrell Owens finds a soft spot, but Tony Romo was running to his right. He's pointing and looking to his left. The defense lost sight of the sideline and Terrell Owens, and he gets a big completion.
Yeah, that went for 21 yards, so this will be a 46-yard field goal try. Timeout called first by Indianapolis. Field goal attempt on the way after this break.
Let's watch Tony Romo 10 seconds before the half. He gets pressure. Look at him point to the left. He knows he's going to Terrell Owens from the time he starts moving. So that was just good acting, and it made the defense stop. Owens is wide open.
Vanderjagt has a 50-yard make this year. He hit the right upright on his first attempt in this one. Again, Romo holding. Vanderjagt better hook in a hurry, and it's on that right side. Again, no good. And again, Darrell Reed had a little chatter on the back end of it. Vanderjagt missing 2 in this half. They had 5 drives, the Cowboys, in Colts territory, but walk away with no points in that first half. Only the 4th halftime lead of the season for Indianapolis. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Sprint halftime reports coming up after this message and a word from your local station here on the home of Super Bowl 41.